Hello everyone, this is Melissa Phillips, and today's Makeup Monday is super simple, but something that I've really quite enjoyed doing the last little while, and it's using embossing enamel on my cards to create fun little splatters and splotches. They're elevated, they have dimension, they look like little tiny bubbles on there, and there's so many different types of embossing enamel available that you'll get different effects with whichever you choose. So here's one example card that I created, and I've got a base here of Ocean Tide's cardstock from my tag, and you can see that these little splatters with embossing enamel are in white and gold. And I just wanted to quickly show how I go about doing that. You may find a way that is a little bit more effective for you, and I hope that you'll share that once you do find it. My card, I've got a few of my elements already cut, but our tag here is kind of what I'll focus on. It's a scalloped tag, and one of the smallest from that collection, and I'll just kind of show you how I went about creating this tag clear to the end, which is where I have applied the embossing enamel. My favorite right now is this shabby green embossing enamel from Stampendous. It's chunky, it's got fine green glitter, really chunky white glitter pieces, or excuse me, enamel pieces, which is what you want to use, and then it's got a little bit smaller gold enamel pieces in there, and it's kind of fun when you get a bit of the gold and the white. So we will get started. First thing you need to do for this particular step is to go ahead and die cut yourself a tag. I've just used white cardstock, and then I chose to use the new stamp set, A Bit More Butterfly Blooms, for my small butterfly. And we're going to stamp that in watermark ink, and then we'll heat emboss it with just white embossing powder. Okay, there's not too much that I don't think you'll actually be able to see this, but I have gone ahead and embossed that butterfly on our tag. And now we're going to apply ink, and you'll really be able to see it start coming to life. So I'm using Spring Moss ink and my little foam applicator, and I'm just going to go around in circles and kind of watch this beautiful butterfly come to life. I'm just going to use a bit of that. Actually, that was prairie grass. Sorry about that. Spring moss is what I used on this first card, but I grabbed the wrong one. So let's see how prairie grass looks. And then a little bit of green parakeet for a little bit brighter shade of green. Somebody described this particular stamp set as being organic, and I loved that word. It's so true. The butterfly in it is definitely organic looking and so delicate and beautiful. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of aqua mist just to bring in a little bit of that blue. Won't be anything that's too noticeable. Okay, so then what I like to do next is to give my embossed butterfly a little spritz of water or two, and that'll just kind of help those colors start puddling and pooling, give you a little bit of a watercolored look. If you like to speed up the process, you can always use your heat gun to dry that ink. Either way, though, you're going to create a beautiful look. Okay, so our ink is now dried, our water splotches. And then another new product that I enjoy, not new, but new to me, is Deco Art Medium. This is a shimmer mister in white. And I just shake it up really good and open the cap, and then I just tap those splotches over my surface area. And it's not a huge noticeable element, but it just continues to add to that beautiful watercolor effect. So you can wait for those to dry or use your heat tool to heat those up. I always use my heat tool. Okay, so now for the fun part. I guess it's all fun, but I really enjoy this last little step. We are going to add our raised dimensional splatters. This is how I do it. Like I say, you may find a technique that works better for you, but as you're shaking out this embossing enamel, the chunky pieces separate themselves from the fine glitter pieces, so you don't have to worry about that glitter sticking. And I just tap out what I need over a tray because you're going to have some excess and we want to reuse it. And then you can move it around. These pieces are chunky enough that you can move them around where you want them on your tag, on your card, and then heat them with your heat tool, and you'll watch them transform from little jaggedy, clumpy pieces to soft, raised bubbles or bumps. They're beautiful. So that's what I'm going to do next, is heat that up. And voila, there you have it. Don't you love those? I'm not sure the camera can capture the dimension, but man, I was never able to achieve perfect splatters using paint. And then I tried my embossing enamel, and I feel like I am getting somewhere. But just a fun new product. Fun for me anyway, not using it in the traditional sense. So all we've got to do now is assemble our card. I've used the Shapeshifters Oval die twice. Once I cut from Spring Moss, Bitty Bit Spring Moss, and then once from the white cardstock using all three of the dies. I am completely in love with the florals that have been released this last little while, so I've chosen to use the 2018 anniversary set, Mixed Blooms. I have also chosen to use the Seasonal Borders Spring. I love banners, so I'm just going to use a portion of the banner right across here for my sentiment on my tag. And that sentiment comes from the Ink It In stamp set. Anyways, we'll get started finishing our card, and then I can't wait to see what you create. Alright, so our card is finished. I've layered lots of florals here and just have that sweet organic dimensional tag standing out right there in the center on an angle. I misspoke. In the Mixed Blooms, I called them Mixed Blooms, are actually from the Mixed Bouquet set. It's the 2018 Mixed Bouquet Anniversary set. So I encourage you to have fun and try out different things. There's lots of different options out there, but this is one of my favorite things to do right now with that embossing enamel. You can go as heavy as you want or as light as you want. I went quite light on this particular card, but love how those splatters stand out. So link me up. I can't wait to see what you create, and enjoy your Monday. Thank you for stopping in.